Good afternoon, 3 p.m. again, Tuesday. It is our learning time. As I always say, learning is so important. That's one of the essentials for anything we do. And we have to learn, and we have to retain, and we have to use it. So that way we can be ahead of the game, right? It is all about what you know, not about how much you know, right? All right. With that said, let's look at what we're talking about today, student loan defaults. So we knew people who had student loan, who had not been paying anything since 2020, who had not had any interest expenses coming up to them since that time, because it is all stopped. So student loan is on the table to be written off by President Biden. However, that did not happen. So now the new administration come up and is asking student loan to be repaid and required to be repaid under Trump administration. So let's look at what that do to folks. We have clients we knew they're in their 60s and they still owe student loans. And if, to be fair, and with all of these life behind, and they did not have student loan paid off, it's only because student loan doesn't carry much of interest. So it is easier to carry that loan than carry other loan. But now, with Department of Education going away, and this student loan need to be done so they can close the book. Now, let's take a look at our firm. And we are communitycpa.com, and this is our website. If you log into communitycpa.com, you'll see us right here. And we have a couple of buttons on the top for your convenience. You can become our client by clicking on board with us, and you can make appointment with us by going into appointment button. And if you are our client already, you know where to find your documents, right? You go to client portal. And all of our talk on the webinar are going to be deposited right here. So this is our library with more than 1,300 videos that is made available to you. You can search under that magnifying glasses. You search for the topic you want, then all the related videos will show up. Then you can pick and choose. So we are a regional firm with 5 branches across the country, and 3 of them in Midwest, 1 in Texas, 1 in California, and we have more than 12,000 clients. So it's quite a cluster of clients we have. So we have a little economy here because we know what's going on just based on our clients' collective collection, right? How do they do, what they say. So this morning I met a couple of clients, and my question right now is always, how is your business going? Do you feel okay? And were you doing better or same or worse? Or where are you? So these are the questions we ask our client. And generally speaking, they're challenges, right? So we have a quite a bit challenge. And with the new tax cut coming through, hopefully we'll compensate that a little. Now, we do have several webinars. We talk about the tax cut. We talk about this one big beautiful bill, right? So we will continue to update you on where that is. And now it's passed the House, going to Senate. The last I heard is Senate rejected, so we'll see how that goes. But inside of that package, I did not study any other parts, but just for tax side of things, I thought it was pretty good. So I will continue to update you on that. This is the 2 books I wrote, and you will see the 4th one coming through. And the 4 books I wrote, I am writing the 2, and I published 2 already. These are a business process, it's like raising a child, right? From toddler years all the way to the naughty teenager years, and all of these things. And in business is the same. You start, you grow, you expand, and then you retire. You sell, or you're passing it on to next generation. So the book is all about the life of a business. So hopefully you learn something from it. No responsibility disclaimer is as always. So now let's talk about student loan repayment. Federal student loan collections were paused in March of 2020 because due to the pandemic, right? The pause provided relief to millions of students, graduated students, so especially when they face economic hardship. The collection froze, not including stopping collecting garnishment and stop offsetting your refund and stop interest accrual. So it's a whole 9 yard of forgiveness. It's like you just don't have to worry about it anymore. No interest accrual, and it not gonna reduce your refund, not gonna receive any calls, and you just wait for it because it will be written off. That's what everybody is waiting. Okay, but as of May 5th, 2025, Trump administration has resumed collection on defaulted loans. So listen to that. So now you should be getting a letter already. We are already into the lower part of May. This was starting in the beginning of the May. They are notifying people, over 5 million defaulted loans. They're notifying people saying that, hey, time to pay. And so you need to know that this is coming through. And if you don't really follow this and you just keep on ignoring as if Biden is still your president, then you will have a huge consequences. So I just want to make sure that you understand what you are facing right now. So, people saying that, oh, why the repayment is resumed, why it is that, and every administration has its own priorities. So what Trump administration has done is to simply end the pandemic pause on the collection. So they're not adding anything. They're not doing anything special. They just say no more pandemic treatment, which is nothing wrong. We're not in pandemic anymore, right? So the goal is to protect taxpayer and ensure responsible management of federal student loan programs. So, when you have a loan out there, there are people needing to manage the loan. If they don't collect the loan, how are you going to pay the salary of the people who manage the loan? Otherwise, the taxpayer would come up with more money to these people who are giving money out to the defaulted loan, right? This is like chain reaction. So they want to make sure that this program supports its own deed. So to make sure that it pays for it, so the federal student loan program has to get a repayment so they can support the program itself. So you heard of this White House spokesperson, Carolyn Leavitt, right? You know her, very pretty lady, and I like her way she talks, and I just think she's very quick on her feet, and she answers all the tough questions. And when people ask her about why are you, resuming the defaulted loan collection, and she simply said that debt cannot simply disappear. There's nothing wrong with that statement. But she did say that the Tesla drivers are all Democrats, which I don't believe that's right. But that was her quick answer too. So she said that debt cannot simply disappear. I totally agree. It doesn't disappear. So we need to deal with it. Okay, folks? If you have a defaulted student loan, buckle up, and because you need to deal with it. The administration hopes to guide borrowers towards repayment solution, okay, that can help the defaulted borrowers rebuild the credit. So what that says is that if you don't repay the loan after May 5th of 2025, your credit score is going to go down because you have to, your credit history is going to be affected. So that is not good. That means you cannot, that means a lot. That means you cannot borrow more money for your first home you want to purchase. That means you may not even be able to find a job. That job requires you to have a good financials with a reasonable credit score, and you might You might lose a lot of opportunities. What happens if you are in default right now? Say you are in default, knowing that you are in default if you miss payment by 270 days. Okay, so that's a magic number. Over 5 million borrowers are right now is in default. So consequences of default, huge. Damage your credit score. Credit card, you won't have a credit card, because your credit score is so bad. And, ineligibility for new federal student aid. Yeah, you can't get any more federal student aid. And you think, oh yeah, I'm okay. I'm going to wait for the college to give me the aid or the state gave me the aid. And you can also relatively not dream about it, because you know how Harvard they canceled almost $500 million federal grants from the Trump administration. So, these colleges are losing money if they don't do certain things. I don't know what they have to do to get the money, but obviously they're losing it. And then the state, also some of the state don't get money. And I thought President Trump said that California won't get whatever money because they're not nice. So, I don't know politics, but I think the federal student aid is important. You want to be in good standing so you can still get that. Otherwise, you cannot get loan. Collection fees, additional cost, gonna be your expenses. Yeah, additional cost and more debt. Lose your tax refund. Oh my God, that's the worst, right? And you worked with us so hard. We got your taxes done. We were like celebrating you're going to get some refund. And next thing you called us, goes, Ying, I didn't get my refund. Oh, why? We call. Then find out your student loan, you still owe a lot. Just like, that's just crazy, right? And imagine my 60-some years old client and default student loan and 15% out of the Social Security payment will be taken away. That is devastating. No, that is what happens if you default. Okay, collection method. You say, oh, wow, Ying, okay, fine. So what are the methods they collect from me? They collect from you. The government can withhold federal payments such as tax refund, Social Security, benefit, anything federal money they give you, they can withhold that. And they can also contact your employer, garnish your wages. Tell your employer that give me 15% of this guy's pay, so your paycheck is reduced. And refer you to collection agency, so you'll be getting a lot of calls. And those collection agency folks are very patient. They're like talking to you like they have never talked to you, but they already called you a million times, and you'll be so frustrated, and you're going to trash your cell phone, but then you can't because there's so many important people are calling other than the collection agency. You're going to just be in the mess. So you imagine how you're going to feel those days. No, life is too short. We want to just do it right, get it organized, and find ways to satisfy the requirement. So, what do you need to do if you are in default? And you can go on to the Federal Student Aid website to get some instructions on what to do. You can email the office and be proactive. There's main options to resolve. There's a couple main options to resolve the default status. Make monthly payment. Enroll in this IDR program. It's called Income-Driven Repayment Plan. Payments are based on the income and your family size. It meant to customize your payment amount based on your current situation. Get involved with that. Get enrolled. And do loan rehabilitation. Make 9 one-time payments within 10 months to remove default. That would be nice. When you remove the default and your record is clean, and you can borrow money, get credit card, buy house, and that would not come onto your credit report. And loan consolidation, if you have more than one federal student aid loans. Then you can consolidate them, make one payment, and do this IDR plan, the income-driven repayment plan. Okay, and so the supports and resources are there for you. And the federal student aid launched a communication campaign to help borrowers understand their options and obligations. So they want to convince you that, hey, you're not walking away from here. It is your baby, and take care of it. So they want to give you, again, the sense of serious responsibility, because during the Biden time, there was so much talk about writing off the student loan for so many people. I understand a lot of those defaulted loans are actually not the result of they don't want to pay, it's the result of confusing policy from the past. Now it is clear. It is not confusing. You need to pay, and it is your responsibility. So the new tool that made available, it is what we call the loan simulators. So you can go on those loan simulators and put in your information. They kind of give you options. There's also the Aiden, which is the AI assistant. The name is Aiden, and helping you. So experiencing AI, I am so sure. I don't have anywhere to reference my thought, but my thought tells me that that's Elon Musk's product. Don't you think? Has to be. And extended service or call time for assistance, and they intended to expand the hours so that folks, you can call after work hours. And remember that, this program itself is like a company, it's like an entity. You have to pay for them to have that service available to you. So it is catch-22 for the government. So now it is already come back on the table for collection. Be expecting of collection calls, because they want to let you know that that period of pandemic forgiveness is gone and is back on the square one, and you need to pay. So key takeaways: repayment and collection on the default student loans have resumed in May. Okay, resumed in May, and the student loan forgiveness rolled back means is taking away, is not happening. Don't even use that term anymore. Student loan forgiveness, what are you talking about? So that's outdated knowledge, is already gone. Borrowers must act to avoid involuntary collection, which just means that people will call you. They would love your cell phone number. They would love your phone number. And believe it or not, and the person who calls you probably memorize your number. That's how many times they call you. So you don't want that. Because if you get there, they can garnish your wages. They can take away the refund we did for you. Don't want that. Just make sure you pay. Several options existed to resolve the default and return to good standing. Of course, full payment. Just make full payment, right? Or loan rehabilitation. This is the one that I was talking about. You need to go onto the website. Let me show you something. I did pull out the website for you. On this page is rehabilitate your loans. So I want you to know that the help is there. Just make sure that you go to take a look, see where you are. And the loan consideration, this is just where that you can actually go back to take a look, consolidation, go back to combine your many loans into one. Settlement, yeah, you can negotiate. That just means that you need to work with the loan officer, and from the student loan office, and then negotiate a settlement. Maybe you cannot pay it back anymore because you ended up handicapped and you just don't have the ability to pay. So go for settlement. Or you ended up in the involuntary collection bucket and you love your strange calls, or you lose from federal government. So this is so much about student loan, right, folks? So I hope you come back to square one and know that is your responsibility. And this administration has no plan to forgive anything. It is your loan, is your debt. You need to pay for it. That's just how it is. So make sure you make a plan, right? All right. And know that, if you work for an employer and, you can work with your employer to see whether they can come in, stepping in to help you with the loan payment due to such a good performance you have given at a workplace. So, don't forget to look at your relatives, your mom and dad. They're suckers. They're going to pay whatever you want them to pay. So just have them do that for you if you ended up getting into that situation. This is so much what I have for you today, Tuesday. And this is our partners. You can find all of us online and we will help you. That is literally in our DNA, and we don't survive, we don't live for any other purposes but helping you. And here is our firm situation. We open 6 days a week. Yes, not just during tax season. We work more, so we open 6 days. We actually open 6 days a week whole year round. So you can always get a hold of a real person from 8:30 to 5:30, Monday to Saturday. And you can also email us at catherine@communitycpa.com and voice your desire, what you want to hear. And you can give us a topic and we will air this out for you. And lately, I've been talking about this one big, beautiful bill because I'm sort of excited to see that coming to reality. But right now, not yet. It passed the House. It's still waiting for Senate. It's going to generate a lot of deficit, but it's not a deficit on your personal bank account. So, what you are looking at is the tax saving that you have in your pocket. So, with that said, I hope you subscribe to our channel, be our followers, right? I'll see you again on